One of the most deadly players in NBA history. A man who changed and influenced generations of hoopers to come. Arguably the greatest Philadelphia 76er of all time. And only 3 years after his playing days in the NBA were over, he didn't even have enough money to buy a single cheeseburger. Allen Iverson came into the NBA and made noise immediately. As the first overall pick in the 1996 draft, he burst onto the floor for his first game and dropped 30 on the Milwaukee Bucks in a statement game that would show everyone watching, this kid is special. And soon after, he would go on to face the Bulls and Michael Jordan, who he would cross over and score on immediately. Iverson was the face of young players in the league, and he was making some huge noise. And he would prove to be one of the best scorers in the league during his time in the NBA, becoming the NBA scoring leader 4 separate times, and also leading the 76ers to an NBA Finals appearance, absolutely carrying this team on his back. But they were ultimately beaten in 5 games by Kobe and Shaq in the 2001 Finals, but not for lack of effort on Iverson's part, as he put up 35.6 points per game. But somehow even bigger than his mark on the court, Iverson completely changed the culture in the NBA. He made it possible for NBA players to escape the traditional clean-cut look that former players used to have and wear what truly embodied each player's personality. Iverson was the first player to have cornrows in the league. He was the first player to really wear a shooting sleeve just for fashion and not for any real purpose, and he was completely himself at all times. And you could see that on the court too. Iverson was not afraid to talk to his opponent and let them know that they just got cooked. In game 1 of the 2001 Finals, AI hit a nasty shot over Ty Lue and stepped right over the man. He could have gone around him, he could help the man up, but no, he stepped right over him. He wanted Ty Lue to know that he was dominating and there was nothing he could do about it. And because of all this greatness and the cultural icon that he became, Iverson got paid. Over the course of his playing career in 14 seasons, Iverson made $154 million. With this money alone, not even including any of the endorsement deals, he was a tenth of the way to becoming a billionaire. But only 3 years after his playing career was done, he was dead broke. How is that even possible? The problem for AI was never making the money, it was managing it. At the start of his career, Iverson kept his cash in dozens of large trash bags because he didn't trust in banks. Ironically, a trash bag full of money would go missing from his house from time to time, so he should have been more worried about his inner circle than the bank. But that is not the reason that AI would end up losing his NBA career earnings. Iverson was not afraid to spend his money. And by not afraid, I mean I think he might have been allergic to a savings account. Every single month, AI spent $10,000 on new clothes, $10,000 on restaurant bills, and another $10,000 on groceries, feeding his family and friends too. Also, he spent $125,000 per month just on credit cards and mortgages for his various mansions. AI did not travel with luggage so that he could buy clothes and jewelry wherever his team was playing that night. I know he was a fashion icon, but come on. Imagine being so rich you don't even have to pack a jacket, you can just buy a Louis one there. AI also spent a huge amount of money on his car collection, buying foreign car after foreign car. There was one time when Iverson landed from a flight and forgot where he parked his car. Instead of looking for it like a normal human being, Iverson got a cab to the nearest car dealership and bought a new one. But that's not the only massive car spending story from AI. One time, a teammate of Iverson's, Larry Hughes, was just looking at his Bentley in absolute awe. And he was like, "Yo AI, I have to get me one of these." And guess what he responded with? "Bro, you can just have mine." For reference, the most affordable Bentley starts at about $200,000, and I don't think AI had the most affordable Bentley. Aside from cars, jewelry, and clothes, Iverson also had a habit of giving huge amount of money to people in his inner circle. In the peak of Iverson's fame, he would travel with 50 family and friends, paying for everything and anything that they wanted. And he also tended to spend, depending on what kind of club he was at, tens of thousands of dollars during nights out with teammates and friends. Matt Barnes has even gone on record saying that AI spent $30,000 to $40,000 at strip clubs so frequently that he used to scoop and rethrow some of AI's bills. And to top it off, AI loved to gamble, and it was reported that he even spent $1 million in one night at an Atlantic City casino. And he's been banned from various casinos because of his inability to pay his debts or his drunken behavior. But since he left the NBA, AI could just not keep up with his lifestyle. He wasn't making enough money. Also, in the few years after he left the NBA, his marriage was really struggling, and all of his spending habits really just caught up to him, and he was going broke. AI hit rock bottom in 2012 when he owed $900,000 to a jeweler in Georgia, and he simply did not have the money to pay his debt. He then filed for bankruptcy, and 2 of his mansions went into foreclosure. Iverson even stood during a divorce proceeding in Atlanta in 2012 and pulled out his pants pockets, saying, "I don't even have enough money for a cheeseburger," to his estranged wife, who then threw him $61. Imagine being Allen Iverson and then your wife has to give you money. Since those rough few years, Allen Iverson recently turned 48 years old in 2023, and he is 7 years away from receiving a massive payment from Reebok for a lifetime deal that he signed in 2001. AI's friend reportedly convinced him to structure the deal in a way that was unheard of at the time. Per the deal, in 2030, Iverson is owed $32 million from Reebok in a huge payment. And on top of that, he's earning $800,000 per year for life, and that's ensured that he's been able to live a good life despite blowing through over $200 million, both during and after his career. Maybe his friends saw Iverson's unhealthy spending habits and protected him by spreading this money out over a long period of time. Along with that, when AI turned 45 years old in 2020, he started receiving his NBA pension, which pays him $8,000 per month or $96,000 per year. Today, Allen Iverson's net worth is still valued over $1 million, recovering from being broke in 2012 by using his personality and fame from being in the NBA to gain some of that money back. But man, losing $200 million. So if there's anything that you're going to take from this story, it's to become friends with Allen Iverson and get rich from his money. But on a real note, hope he's doing good and recovering from that nasty spending habit, and he's gonna be just fine.